And it doesn't hurt to use this at all, actually. This is like super easy. Because I kind of sprained my right ankle now. And I already had a broken rib and a sprained left ankle from the last crash just a few days ago. So it kind of hurts to walk. But riding this is easy. It's like, it's even therapeutic in a sense. It just feels good. It feels good that I can get to where I need to go. When you bust your knee, you need an EUC. That's what I say. Ironic though, isn't it? Because this is what caused my injury in the first place. Lesson number 1, wear your elbow pads. Lesson number 2, ride more carefully, because that bump, you know, I just was being careless. But having said that, guys, a suspension wheel would have... So having some pretty bad luck lately, guys. Just got over the mortal illness called the gastrointestinal perforation. Broke a rib almost immediately. And now I had the worst accident I've probably ever had. I was going about pretty much max speed on this Sherman Max. And I hit a hole. It wasn't that big, but because of the speed, it was big enough to just knock me forward. Just enough to be on the edge of the pedals. And I nearly saved it, but I didn't. And when I realized I couldn't save it, I just bailed. And it was hardcore. The noise it made, it was like a truck hitting another truck, basically. These people came out of their houses because they heard the noise. And after the accident, I got up immediately and put the Sherman, I took the Sherman off the road because I was just laying in the middle of the road. And I just sat down straight away. Felt really dizzy. It was the same feeling I had when I snapped my arm in half. A really bad break that I had once caused me to get like nauseous and, you know, like dizzy. So you want to sit down. That kind of feeling, I had that in this accident. So I was really sure I must have broken something. I slammed my elbow down really hard. I was wearing basically all my gear except my elbow pads, but not the best gear. Like I was wearing this crappy helmet. See, it's full face, right? And look how easily this comes off. What is this crap? Imagine in a crash. And I reckon it did just enough though, guys, because I scraped my face, but not bad at all. It felt bad. At the time, I was like, dude, my head is just like grinding along this road. That's how it felt. But then I realized it was just like a surface graze. My knee took a bit of a graze because my knee pad like came off during the slide. But I didn't have any elbow pads on. And I slammed my elbow down super hard on the ground, on the asphalt, you know. Not like the other accident on the sand, much softer surface. Had a bit more gear on this time, but I was also going much faster. So this was a much worse accident. And I also sprained my ankle. I got to go to work in 2 days, guys. And I reckon I might just be able to make it. After this accident, I did not think. I was like, dude, I've just lost my job. Because I was sitting there basically fainting. You know, that feeling of dizziness I was explaining. And you could see I was fainting because the lady that came out, she kept insisting on calling an ambulance. She was like, look at you, you can't even stay awake. And she kept saying, don't go to sleep. She thought I was going to die, literally. And I knew it was nothing. Like, I knew at worst I've broken a bone. And that's it. If I'm lucky, I didn't break anything. And she kept saying, like, she wants to call an ambulance. I said, don't bother. Just let me sit here and breathe it out for a bit. Because, you know, I looked bad. I looked like in a bad state because I was having trouble, you know, keeping my eyes open. Looked like I was going to pass out. But I was just breathing it out. And I knew I was going to be fine. I was very uncomfortable, though. It was, like, quite painful when I was sitting there. And now, guys, it's been, like, I don't know, 8 hours maybe, 6 hours. And it feels a lot better. A lot better. I'm so surprised. I don't think I've broken anything. My elbow is all right, I reckon. I reckon I was on the verge of breaking it. Because when I was sitting there, it looked bad and it felt bad. You know, I was like, dude, I fucked up my arm for a long time at least. You know, like, it's going to be time off work at least. But now the way it feels, I think it's gonna be alright, guys. And I didn't even take any painkillers. I had these oxycodone pills, like strong, basically opioids, for my gut pain, right? Which they gave me when I left the hospital, and I never took these oxycodones because I never had pains again since leaving the hospital. So I've got those, and I still didn't take them for this. I was about to, because when I got home, I was in a fair bit of pain. But then I just ate some watermelon, and that made me feel a lot better. Yeah, I reckon it should be alright. It's mostly so the elbow's alright, but my ankle, my right ankle, it's a bit hard to walk on. I've got a bit of a limp, but it's not that bad. Like I went to the shops just before, no problem. Not much. I mean, a bit of pain, but not even taking painkillers, so it's not that bad to be honest. I reckon I'm gonna make it to work. And remember, I had this accident on a broken rib. So I had a broken rib already when I fell down just now. I'm very lucky I didn't injure my rib, because that would have been bad. To like smash your rib while it's already broken. Do you know what? It's weird. My rib feels better now than it did before. Maybe it's because I've got more pain in other areas. I don't know. Damn plane overhead, guys. I'm not even going to edit this out. Let's just speak over the aeroplane. So what I'm saying is that my rib feels better now than it did before this accident. So I didn't re-injure it. It's like I kind of made it better. But like I said, maybe it's because the pain is in like my knee and my elbow now. But there's not much pain, so yeah, it should be good. Should be good. And if you're wondering, how did the Sherman Max fare in all of this? Well, that noise I told you about, I said it was louder than a truck hitting another truck. That was all the Sherman making that noise. And when I picked it up, I was certain that it would be broken, that it wouldn't switch back on, or there'd be something wrong with it. And it turns out there's nothing wrong with it at all. It's absolutely fine. There's a bit of plastic, like the side covers are a little bit bent outwards, but I think I'll be able to fix that up anyway. If not, I can just buy new side covers. But it's probably not going to need anything, to be honest. Looks perfectly fine. And that goes to show how tough this Sherman is, because that was a big crash. And my Kingsong 16X has failed 3 times. I've got 3 old mainboards sitting out in the shed. But yeah, that thing is... if you drop that thing just parking it, you know, like you try and lean it against the wall. If you accidentally drop it to the other side, it'll break. You'll need a new mainboard. I'm not even kidding. That thing is a joke. I got to keep the speed down because it hurts to put pads on now. So the only way I can ride is just with a helmet. That didn't hurt my head. I hurt everything else though. So I can't put elbow pads on. I could put wrist pads on. But I'm just going to go super slow. I'm going to use this thing as a low speed walking aid. And I chose to use this. All I'm doing is going to the shops. And I could either use my van or this. So I chose this because if I go in my van and I got to walk, it's going to hurt to walk more, right? With this, I can go right to the entrance and then use the trolley handle as a cane. So that's the advantage of this. And it doesn't hurt to use this at all, actually. This is like super easy. Because I kind of sprained my right ankle now. And I already had a broken rib and a sprained left ankle from the last crash just a few days ago. So it kind of hurts to walk. But riding this is easy. It's like, it's even therapeutic in a sense. It just feels good. It feels good that I can get to where I need to go. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, there's no pain at all. This is what you need. When you bust your knee, you need an EUC. That's what I say. That's my new motto. Ironic though, isn't it? Because this is what caused my injury in the first place, but that's how it goes with the EUC. And guys, I learned a good lesson. Like, yeah, I'm not going to do that again. Lesson number 1, wear your elbow pads. I'm always going to wear them from now on, because that's what I could have walked away from this with nothing, basically. Just a sprained ankle. But yeah, I really busted my elbow up good, and that's what I'm worried about the most, because I want to go to work, you know. I don't want this to fuck my job up. You guys know I'm on like kind of thin ice there, because I was sick for so long with my stomach, and now how am I going to take more sick days because of like these stupid injuries? And yeah, so lesson number 1, wear elbow pads. Lesson number 2, ride more carefully, because that bump, you know, I was being careless. But having said that, guys, a suspension wheel would have saved me. I'm sure of it, because I just came off. I nearly saved it. Just that little bit of help would have saved me. So a suspension would have, I reckon with a good suspension, you wouldn't even feel it. It would have been that much of a difference. I don't know, but I reckon if I were to guess, yeah, would have saved me completely. Could have been the difference between that crash and a bump you barely perceive. It's like, doom, you know? And I didn't have my knees bent enough in the moment. That's the thing. If I had my knees bent, this wouldn't have happened. But I got complacent. I was riding dangerously. Go this way. Yeah, so I'm just going to the shops up here. But yeah, this is good. This is working out good. I got my walking aid. I can get to where I need to be. So the shops it is. And now I can use it as a cane, see? See, I can hold it with my right hand, right? Keep the weight off my bad leg, see, or my bad ankle, which is my right one. So I keep the weight off my right ankle by holding this with my right hand. But I've got a busted elbow, so yeah, it's not the best situation, but it's not busted. I didn't break it, I don't think.